Good morning. It's cold today. It's ghetto outside. I don't like this. I'm from Florida. I'm used to it being hot. I want it to be hot, and it ain't hot. It's like 40 degrees right now. The fuck? Anyway, got my oversized jacket on. Nice and cozy. I'm going to talk to y'all today about stillness. And please excuse my crusty hairspray headband. I am laying my edges before I go and walk, darling. I want to talk about stillness with you all today. I said that I will because I want you to understand the power of stillness. Let's do a little story time. So when I first started with learning how to be a deliberate creator, this was back in maybe 2016. 2016, 2017, around that time. 16 for sure. And I ran into Abraham Hicks, which when I heard Esther speak, she started talking about Self Speaks, and then that made me get the book Self Speaks. I read all of that, captivated. I read that book so freaking quick, maybe in like 3-4 days, and that's a thick ass book. But I read it all because I was just like, what? You mean to tell me this is what this is? Like, what the hell? And I've always been really, really curious about life since I was a child. Yeah, I've questioned everything. I've been that kid my whole life. Like, that don't make sense. So why this like that then? And what about that? And here I am. But yeah, Seth Speaks led me back to Abraham Hicks. I've been with her from there. I don't watch much of her information now because I'm not really a LOA as far as law of attraction fan. But I do know that it goes hand in hand with each other. Don't get it twisted. I know that like attracts like, etc. But I am in love with the law of assumption because you can assume any damn thing. You can assume any goddamn thing. It takes the limits off of everything. It takes that limit of having to be happy-go-lucky. I can assume that I ain't got to be happy-go-lucky to manifest, and that's exactly what I did, and I've been showing myself that for the last few years now. Okay, my purpose of talking to you all though about stillness is because stillness is the direct mimicking of awareness. Stillness is the direct mimicking of awareness. When you are still, you're calm. Y'all gonna get tired of that word, calm, calmness, ease, comfort, peace, relaxation, stillness. It's all the same. It is all in the same pot. Consider them cousins. They have the same bloodline. Calm, peace, ease, stillness. Okay, they're all related. And stillness is so important because Psalm 46:10 even tells you to be still and know that I am God. That stillness, when you are in that present moment, you are cultivating pure awareness, especially if you are in your awareness and you have the ability to separate yourself from your thinking, meaning you are now the observer of that thinking, not the person attached to the thinking or lost in the thinking, but the actual person that is sitting within stillness, within its awareness, within who it actually is, within who you actually are. Sitting within the essence and energy of stillness is sitting with who you actually are. And when you sit within that awareness, you allow yourself to understand that God is present too. And if God is present, then that means you can pretty much create anything, because that's the only thing that creates. So I highly suggest that you place your awareness and your focus on that energy, because if you can do that, if you understand how to do that, then you'll know that awareness is the only thing that creates. If I can get you to practice that stillness to the point where it is natural for you to be the observer, then you'll be able to separate yourself from your thinking, because this is not about controlling your thoughts. I don't want you to think that you have to shut down your thinking. I don't want you to think that you have to stop thinking, because this is not that. I want you to be still. I want you to feel that ease. I want you to feel that calm. I want you to feel that comfort And from there, I want you to affirm. From there, I want you to visualize. Why? Because I want you to consider it as a 0 point. It is a neutral point. It is a centering. And in that center is your awareness. In that awareness, in that center, in that stillness is your creator, your savior. Direct that energy, because in those now moments, in those present moments, guess what's there? All of creation being finished is in those moments, because all of creation is now. You are stepping into the energy of God, who is not limited or bound by time, by being still and being aware and knowing to capitalize on that stillness by deliberately, creatively utilizing that space so that you can create. This is the boring stuff. And I understand that it's the boring stuff, but it has to be discussed. It must be talked about. I'm not saying that you have to sit here and try to figure out all of these tools, but all of my videos have been reiterating the same thing, that you do need to cultivate you some calm, that you need to cultivate you some stillness. It's just a requirement so that you can be quiet enough, just enough, not for long, but just enough, so that you can actually focus, so that you can be centered, and so that you can choose. You cannot choose when your mind is all over the place. Half of you all do not know what you think on a regular day-to-day basis. Therefore, when things show up, they probably don't even mean much to you, because you haven't been aware that I was just thinking this and this showed up. I do it all the time, all day long. I just had a conversation about XYZ and XYZ showed up. It's because it's my awareness, and I understand it. I understand that it's my awareness simply playing with me, like we always do, in our delight of knowing that I really do create my own reality. And awareness flows through me easily and effortlessly, because it is so easy for me to be still. It is so easy for me to be calm. Therefore, if I am always effortlessly still and effortlessly calm, it is then also so easy for awareness to move through me. And if awareness can move through me, as me, because I am not obstructing its flow with my negative thinking, with my worries, with my emotional reactivity to things that don't matter. I'm not obstructing its flow. I'm just letting it be by being completely still. And how do you be still? You can filter through your senses. You can sit down and focus on one sense. You can sit down and isolate a sound in the room. You can sit down and focus on your breathing, your inhales and your exhales. And every time you think of something else, I want you to come back to your inhales and your exhales, or come back to the sound that you've isolated in the room. You can also do this while standing in line at Starbucks. You can filter through your senses while you're standing in line. You can see all that you can see, hear all that you can hear, smell all that you can smell, taste what you can taste, feel what you can feel. You can do that in every given moment. The fact that you are focusing through your senses means that you are being present to the now. And if you are present to the now, and you are calm in it, you are within it, you are in a direct mimicking of God. You are in that same essence, that same energy, that same flow, that same frequency as God. And in order to feel it, in order to understand, in order to relate, you have to choose it. There's a pattern here. Everything takes repetition. It took repetition for you to learn your name. It took repetition for you to learn how to walk. It took repetition for you to learn to do just about anything that you're fucking doing. Whether you go to work every day, they had to train you, right? It took repetition for you to learn your position, to learn your job, to learn what you do. When you learned how to drive, it took repetition. You didn't just get it the first try. Except for us geniuses, maybe. Those of you that are geniuses out there and got it on the first try. That's cool. But yeah, like, everything takes repetition. This stillness, this calmness that I want you to cultivate, it takes repetition. The subliminal, it takes repetition. Why do you think I have it set for 21 days? It usually takes 21 days to form a habit, typically. It does. For the majority, for most. At least that's my assumption. So through the repetition of stillness, you need to know that only your awareness and your consciousness allows things to exist. And if you can be present and still in that moment where the actual consciousness and awareness does exist, where it resides, which is in the now moment. Now. You begin to realize that that awareness is creation itself. And that in it, through it, as it, nothing is off limits. You are not bound by anything except for what you place your awareness on as a limit. Do you understand that because you placed your awareness on the limit, you have just created it? Because all that exists is now. Do you understand that when you imagine having a tangible thing in your calm, still moments like now, you are with awareness, you are with God, and you can feel it. Let's walk through it. If I wanted the $10, right, which is how I got, let me explain to you exactly what I did. I'm calm. I'm easy. I'm still. I'm not attached to these $10. Right now, even as I'm looking at you, I can count the $10 in singles right now. I feel the textures in my hands. I know exactly the placement of my fingers. I can hear the crispiness of the bills as they slide across each other, even as I'm staring at you right now. And I'm just counting them. And when I get to 10, I start over again. And then because I'm doing this, and I keep doing it, and while doing it, I realize how calm I am about it, how detached I am about it. When I realize how calm I am about it, how detached I am about it, that's when I say to myself, an affirmation, just an affirmation of validation. It is so natural, easy, and comfortable for me to have $10 right now. That's it. And I went on about my fucking day. Because in the moment that I had those $10, I had those $10. I didn't get 10 singles, I got 2 5s. But $10 is $10, ain't it? You're going to get what you want based on the least resistance possible to get what you want. God gonna find a way to get you what you want. God will stand on its head. When you really start practicing this, you'll start to notice so much stuff comes up that you are aware of on a day-to-day basis. I keep telling y'all, I get synchronizations all day long. If you're my close and personal friend or loved one, we see weird stuff together all day long. It's because of me. I'm doing it. And I'm very well aware of it. It's like my little winks from awareness. I heard you thinking about that shit earlier. You talking about this? Remember when we was discussing this? Remember when you thought this? There you go. That's all it is. Truly. And when you see it enough for yourself, you will trust it enough. And when you trust it enough, you will stretch it. You will try to apply it towards anything. You will realize that this is really how this works. It's always damn flowing. Nothing is off limits. And when I place my focus on this, this is what I get. I end up getting what I want. Eventually. The appointed time, I can't. I wish that I could tell you what that is for you, but only awareness knows that. Awareness is going to stand on its head to give you what you want. I've witnessed it. I've seen all the little things in between, and I've seen some big things happen overnight as well. Awareness will move the right people. Awareness will create the right circumstances, the right opportunities. Someone asked me in the comments, I think my problem is that if I don't focus on the specific, I might not get what I want. And I'm telling you that your awareness is so smart, it knows exactly what you want. Your awareness can bring you some things that you didn't even think that you wanted until you got it. I would have never asked for this, but now that I have it, I'm so glad. I'm so grateful. How many of you have experienced things like that? Or things where you thought you were going to do it one way, and then it ended up working out an even better way? That's your awareness. You're not smarter than your awareness. You can't control every single thing. Your job is to focus on the end state. Your job is to cultivate the emotional state of being that allows you to have it. And I am telling you, the easiest state of being to have, without you trying to force having it, is calm. You done experienced calm before in your life. Even if it was just once. Even if it was only before you go to bed at night. Or just before you become conscious when you wake up. That is all calm. Your mind and heart knows what calm is. You don't fight that. So if I can get you to sit in it and create in it, you won't fight that. And if you're not fighting your emotions and your reactions all the time because now you've manifested calm, guess what you have the ability to put all of your focus on now? Exactly what you want. Because now you're so used to being calm because you've practiced stillness, because you filtered through your senses, because you focused on being still, being quiet, being within yourself, whatever the case may be. However you've done it, you've did it. Good job. We're there now. You're used to being still. You're used to being calm. When you notice those moments and you're just naturally in it and you're being still, calm, cool, and collected, milk that shit. That's the good stuff. That's the frequency. That's the glue. Point the glue where you want it to go. Start pasting shit together because you in the sweet spot. You are not only creating as the deliberate creator, but you are in the same energy, in the same frequency, in the same emotional state that matches God. That matches God itself. That matches awareness itself. And that should make you so confident. You should be so comfortable in that. And if you're not, it's because you're not fully convinced. You haven't seen it enough. You don't know yet that your awareness is the only thing that creates. You haven't seen it enough. You haven't seen it enough. You haven't trusted it enough. You don't think that your awareness, infinite intelligence, knows what you want. Because you think, well, if I don't focus on the specific, then I won't get my things. And I get how that may be. But you're going to have to find you some trust. I naturally trust in my awareness to create all things. I naturally trust that my awareness knows exactly what I want. I naturally trust that in this moment, my awareness has every and anything that I can desire. And nothing is off limits for me. I'm just talking, but I want you to get creative. You know what that is for you. Stillness is powerful. Again, because stillness, that calm, cool, ease, flat, neutral space of stillness is the exact replication and essence of God. Your awareness. Awareness is still. Think about it. Awareness has to be still. Think about it. Really think about this. If awareness is something that creates everything and is responsible for everything, responsible for us, responsible for the trees, responsible for the clouds, the birds, the sun, the moon, do you think that if awareness was like us instead of us being like awareness, do you think that it will be able to remember to bring up the sun every day? To bring up the moon, to make sure that all, however many billions of us is on this planet, breathe. For those of us that do wake up every day. You get what I'm saying? Like, do you think that the thing, the energy that is responsible for all that can be frantic and all over the place too? Wouldn't it make more sense that it's still? Wouldn't it make more sense that it's calm? Wouldn't it make more sense that the thing that is responsible for all of this, the energy that is responsible, the creator that's responsible for all of this, is calm, cool, and collected, so that it can remember to bring up the sun, so that they can naturally bring up the moon? Wouldn't you think that something as infinite and intelligent as awareness, because it's in everything, it's witnessing everything, it's collecting data on everything, it is always collecting details on everything. God is in the details. God is in the details. God is in the details. It knows all. And as smart as it is, if it knows all and knows that all is well and that it's got everything under control, because it is the essence that creates, what would it be worried, fearful, doubtful, or concerned about? You may have worries, doubts, fears, and concerns. Not the Almighty that knows all. Not the Almighty that is in control of all. So I cannot reiterate this enough. Your best bet is to copy that. Your best bet, you know how little kids, when they grow up, they want to be like their parents, or they want to be like their mom, so they wear their heels and walk around copying their mom? Copy awareness. Copy the energy that is responsible for you. Copy the energy that is the reason why you have everything that you're experiencing in your life. Copy that. I want to be like awareness. I want to be calm, cool, and collected like my awareness. The awareness that is allowing me to even create this video right now. I want to be in as much of a direct mimicking of its essence as I humanly can. And while I am in that, when I notice that I am in that, that's the sweet spot. I'm right here being no different than you are. Therefore, like you, I am going to create this. Affirm. Therefore, like you, I am going to create this. Visualize. Therefore, like you, I am going to assume this. All of creation is finished. Therefore, like you, with the repetition of this assumption, with the repetition of this affirmation, with the repetition of this visualization, I will receive it. It will create. It must manifest. Because we are not making these things. We are claiming them as we affirm for them. We are claiming them as we visualize for them. We are claiming them in the moment that we accept that awareness is all that creates. And a desire that you receive is because it's something that is already completed for you. Awareness is only bringing it up to your mind and to your heart as something that you want, because it wants to experience it through you as you as well. Awareness wants to be you while obtaining this desire. And it's letting you know, hey, this is done for you. Would you like to align with me so that I can get it for you? Hey, this is done for you. That's your desires. Hey, this is already done. Would you like to align with me so that I can create it for you? Hey, this is done for you. Would you like for me, or would you like to align with me rather, so that I can show it to you? Would you like to come back here and be calm and focus on your emotions and what that desire may feel like once you obtain it, so that I can show you, so that I can create it for you? Because it's done. It's already done, which is why I've sent the signal of desire to you. It's definitely done. It's definitely complete. You wouldn't desire it if it wasn't. I'm telling you that it's done. This is your awareness. I'm telling you it's finished. That's why you want it. That's why you keep thinking about it. Desires aren't something that should be uncomfortable or make you feel like, oh, another thing that I want. You should be excited about that. That's God telling you that this is something that is possible for you. Or else you wouldn't desire it. Those desires, or you know it's something that you want. Because you feel like, if I can have this, then I'll feel like, and whatever that feeling is, I'm telling you to get you some stillness, which will cultivate you some calmness, so that you can be aware enough so that you can be aware enough to actually focus on the emotional state that you are trying to manifest for the tangible thing. That's it in a nutshell. I'm going to end this video. Again, this has been about the power of stillness. Please do not take this lightly. Stillness is potent. If you can't be still, you can't observe. And if you can't observe, you can't deliberately focus. And if you can't deliberately focus, you can't create, because you're not choosing what it is that you prefer. Stillness, especially through meditation, because meditation is just a tool or sharpening for your focus. And in order to be still, it does take focus. It has to be practiced. I hope that you found what I said beneficial. I hope that it makes sense. I hope that you apply it to your life, and I hope that you can see what I'm talking about for yourselves. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great rest of your day.